This is the wonderful Amanda Gilbert. Good evening, Amanda.
Hi, Samantha. Hello, everyone.
I am so excited for you to join us this evening. So, tonight, Amanda Gilbert is the author of Kindness Now. It's a 28-day guide to living with authenticity, intention, and compassion. It actually came out in June. Some of you might already have read it and started and completed this, but we wanted to sit and talk to you about it because there's a lot of us, me, that maybe tried this meditation thing once or twice, and we don't know where to go from there. I think for some of us, it might be starting over, but I'm excited to talk to you tonight and hear about your book and also do this meditation with you. So Amanda Gilbert is the meditation teacher, lecturer of mindfulness at the University of Southern California, speaker, and author. She leads meditation for top companies like NBC, Paramount Pictures, W Hotels, Merrill Lynch, Macy's, and YouTube. Before dedicating herself to teaching full-time, Amanda was the center director for the Aging, Metabolism, and Emotions Center at the University of California, San Francisco, a world-renowned health psychology laboratory conducting scientific research and publishing investigations on the biological and physiological effects of mindfulness, meditation, and stress resilience. Her former meditation training has been with the UCLA's Mindful Awareness Research Center, Deepak Chopra, and in the Insight meditation tradition. And she lives in LA.
That's right.
What an intro. Oh my goodness. You sound
Thank
very,
you.
very busy. And I'm sure everything it just sounds, it sounds wonderful. So I want to ask you first about Kindness Now and what brought you to writing this book?
It's so serendipitous that you actually started off our event and our session here together tonight, Samantha, with the statement, like some of us have dabbled in meditation, or maybe some of us have meditated once or twice. And the question often becomes, well, what's next? Or how do I feel about meditation? Or how do I want to continue with this practice? How is it landing in my own daily life experience? How does it feel when I meditate? And so what's next? I was starting to hear an iteration of that question over and over and over again with the countless students I was meditating with at the time, and in a lot of my different classrooms and different sort of meditation settings, from the university to in-person classes at the time in Los Angeles. And the question was like, okay, I've learned to meditate. I get what meditation is, more or less. I've done it a couple of times, or maybe quite a bit. Maybe I'm even a few months into my meditation practice. So I get what I'm supposed to be doing. I even understand how to meditate, so to speak, but what is next? And so Kindness Now was really born from that inquiry and born from this question around, well, here's the next step from a traditional mindfulness meditation perspective, which is once you get the basics of mindfulness meditation, quote unquote, down, which you never fully get mindfulness down. You're always a beginner. I still consider myself, to have beginner's mind even 17 years later as a meditator. But once you have your train in the basics of mindfulness, really from the traditional practice lens, the next step is to start to invite in these qualities of the heart: kindness, compassion, the ability to rejoice for other people's happiness and even your own moments of happiness and success, and how to build a sense of inner groundedness and inner equanimity within your own mind, body, heart field. So Kindness Now was the answer to that inquiry of, okay, once you've learned to meditate, or maybe you're a meditation curious a little bit, here's the next step. Here's the answer to that. And so it's really centers on how to deepen your practice through the heart practices of mindfulness meditation.
Wonderful. How did you go about creating this 28-day guide? Were they meditations and things that you have a part of your daily practice, or are they new things that you came up with on your own?
I'm loving your question, Samantha. Thank you so much. The reason why I love this question in particular is because the teachings in kindness now are known as the Brahma Viharas in Buddhist meditation, or the heart qualities of secular mindfulness meditation. And so I'm so honored to say that these teachings aren't new. I definitely did not make them up. They have been a part of Buddhist meditation tradition for over 2,600 years. They are very timeless. They are tested. They are tried and true. And so just again, really starting to hear this question a lot of what comes next after somebody learns to meditate. The Brahma Viharas, or the four heart qualities of mindfulness meditation, really is the next terrain. And especially for modern meditators, it's one thing to get to know ourselves better in meditation. Like we become so much more aware of the thoughts that we're having in our mind. We become more aware of our habits, our knee-jerk way of reacting to discomfort in our lives or unpleasantness. And so we can become aware of that, but then we also need to rely on kindness and compassion in the heart to really start to more skillfully metabolize those experiences, or to even like learn what it is we become aware of in a more growthful and graceful way. So the teachings of loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, and equanimity, which are the Brahma Viharas, or the four heart qualities of mindfulness meditation, they're timeless and not new. However, the way that I structured the 28 days is actually based on my own self-study of meditation and the Brahma Viharas over the years. So beautifully, because there's four different heart qualities, and we study the Brahma Viharas, it mapped beautifully into a month of practice. And being a meditator, first and foremost, I said, excellent. We'll spend 1 week on each of the four heart qualities, and each day we'll learn a different technique or different practice for each of these four qualities of the heart. But then the actual format and structure of each of the 28 days comes from really finding out over the years of my practice what really led me to get really serious about my meditation practice and to really deepen my meditation practice. And what I found after a lot of experimenting, a lot of years of trying different meditation routines, was that reading some meditation teachings and some more traditional texts for like 5 to 10 minutes in the morning before actually going into the actual meditation practice or my sitting practice. And then after sitting practice, pausing for a few moments and like reflecting on what had just come up for me, if anything at all, during that meditation practice, through some self-inquiry questions, was really helpful. And then I loved almost like setting an intention for the rest of the day, which is like, okay, here's what I just learned from my meditation practice today, or the reading and the teachings today. Here's how I feel. Maybe I feel like really centered and calm and, really, really open-hearted today. And so I would set an intention to bring my practice with me into the rest of my day. So Kindness Now, each of the 28 days actually follows that same format. It begins with a couple pages of teachings, so you can read or listen on the audiobook for about 5 or 10 minutes. Then you're led in a meditation based on the teachings for the day. Then, and people have been really loving the self-inquiry questions, the reflection questions after the meditation practice. So you're led through some guided self-reflection questions. And then there's a mobile practice to commit to and bring with you into the other 23 hours of the day from there. So that's how the daily structure came to be. It was from my own practice, but the teachings are, they're beautifully ancient.
Lovely. I am interested to know how you personally came into meditation. Was it something that started young, or when did this occur for you?
I share about this in the book, actually, in chapter 1, where the title of chapter 1 of the book is called "A Call from the Heart." And I shared the very first moment that I meditated, because it was really impactful and very pivotal and greatly influenced me for the rest of my life. It's probably why I chose the path of being a serious meditator, and then eventually wanting to share meditation with others. But I learned to meditate in high school, the very last semester of my senior year in high school. And it was in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains where I ended up graduating high school in West Virginia in the US here. And I remember during that first time being guided in practice, we were asked to, of course, bring our attention inwards and start to settle our attention into the present moment, and then reflect upon virtues and values that we held near and dear to ourselves. And this is when I was like 17 years old. I'd never really been asked to like think about what was meaningful for me, or to bring my attention to the present moment and call upon qualities of like compassion and love, and think about my North Star and my integrity and my purpose. And that first time in meditation, I felt a real deep sense of ease that I had never felt before, really, as an angsty teenager leading up to that moment all those years prior. And I felt like I was able to be at home in my body and within my skin for the first time as a young person. And a little bit more so, and was really a huge premise of the book and Kindness Now, was that when I placed my attention in the present moment in that first meditation, and I felt comfortable to do so, I was met with a feeling of love, just loving awareness. Like I really tapped into this, just this real, genuine, boundless state of like love and compassion. And it rocked me. It was like, wow, what like this is kind of what I'd been searching for through all these like angsty, unskillful ways, all those years prior. And I never forgot that first meditation. So after that, as a young person, and then going through college, meditation kept showing up at my doorstep, and I kept meditating. And then it was actually in my early 20s where I went through an extremely hard early adulthood life challenge, where on the heels of that, it was just very apparent. I said, in order to have the possibility of healing and, dealing with these broken pieces of my life at the time, I just knew that meditation was going to be my path of healing and becoming possibly whole again. So I started a daily meditation practice at that point, and then really went very deep into studies, and sitting with great teachers, beautiful teachers across the world, and then started to train in meditation teacher facilitation as well at some point.
Wonderful. So you're going to do a little guided meditation here.
That's right.
And so I am going to bow out for a moment, but I'll come back, guys. And Amanda's going to talk to you for a little bit.
Yeah. Thank you, Samantha. It's so nice to even just share those few moments of background around what brought me to meditation, and also just how the book Kindness Now came to be, and why out of the many reasons it was really meant to be birthed in the world at this time. As Samantha mentioned, I'm excited to share a meditation with you, and it's one that, of course, is going to be based on the teachings found in the book, or the timeless teachings of the Brahma Viharas. We'll be going through a loving kindness meditation together that I'll be guiding us through. Beforehand, though, I want to offer just a couple of words and a little bit of reading from Kindness Now, from the book, because I feel like it really speaks very poignantly to some of the questions Samantha was asking. And it's also from chapter 1, which is the chapter that I just mentioned, that has my origin story, the very first time that I meditated. And so I'll read a couple paragraphs from A Call from the Heart, which is chapter 1, and then we'll move into our meditation time. I'll offer a little bit of instruction and guidance before we actually start our loving kindness meditation. But here's a couple of words and a short reading from Kindness Now. And here's just a little snapshot of the book cover. We are all drawn to meditation for a reason. It's a primal calling that's innate and intrinsic to every single human being, regardless of one's upbringing or background. This longing for truth and happiness defines so much of our lives. You'll find it nestled within every decision and detail in each chapter of your life story. It's there as you grow older and search for success, stability, and a way to carve out your own little plot of space in this life. It is woven into all of your most fundamental needs and desires for acceptance, belonging, partnership, and a safe place to rest your head and heart at the end of the day. Whether we know it consciously or not, we are all looking for a way to find the authentic truth of who we are and a home where we can be exactly who we are in the world. The soft lure of meditation song is one the heart knows all too well. It is the call for love, the hymn of real happiness, and the boundless joy of finding the truth of who we are and feeling at home within ourselves, no matter where we are or who we are with. Beneath the mind's reasoning or the magnetism of what's trending in medicine or modern wellness is the timeless yearning to arrive home to the unbiased love and unconditional resilience in the heart of the present moment. This is what you are being pulled to, the natural state of unconditional loving awareness found already within you. And the way you get there is through uncovering your own good-hearted nature, a kindness as ancient and intrinsic as the genetic sequences that make up your DNA. Thank you so much for listening to those few paragraphs from chapter 1, A Call from the Heart of Kindness Now. And one of the principles around the Brahma Viharas of Buddhist meditation, particularly the meditation practice of loving kindness, is that it allows us to really point ourselves back to this innate state of kindness or good-heartedness that we all already have within us. And really these intrinsic states of kindness and good-heartedness that we are born into this world with as human beings. Of course, maybe you're reflecting for a moment right now and even maybe pondering like, oh gosh, when's the last time I felt my own good-heartedness? When's the last time I even considered my own innate kindness, or maybe the natural inclination to respond in a compassionate way? And indeed, as we grow older, as we become young people and then adults, and we experience life's challenges and even just the daily stress of being alive as a human being, especially in times like these, it's so easy to forget this innate goodness that we all have within us, and this natural capacity to respond to ourselves and to others and to the world around us with these innate facets and qualities of the heart, like our kindness or our compassion or our forgiveness or our gracious understanding. And so loving kindness meditation and the Brahma Viharas, I'll quickly share a definition or a translation of the Brahma Viharas before we go into our loving kindness meditation together here. But the Brahma Viharas translates into English as Brahma means heavenly or best or boundless or sublime. And Vihara means dwelling or abode or home. And so Brahma Vihara in some ways can actually translate to our own boundless, heavenly, sublime, best, radiant a place of dwelling and home that we can learn to reside in human beings. And again, this place already does reside within us. We can just really bring ourselves back through these techniques, or the four qualities of the Brahma Viharas: loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, or equanimity. Loving kindness in particular is a beautiful practice. It is what you start with in week 1 of Kindness Now. And in traditional Brahma Vihara practice, you begin with loving kindness meditation because it's a way for us to gently encourage ourselves to remember this natural state of kindness and good-heartedness and open-heartedness within ourselves. In loving kindness meditation, the technique is to actually, of course, after settling into the body for a few moments, and I always even like to place my attention upon the breath just to really presence the mind into the meditation. But traditional loving kindness is where we repeat words and phrases, some phrases that have been used for hundreds of years by meditators, some phrases and words maybe we adapt to be our own, or we personalize a little bit, but we repeat these words and these phrases silently in the mind that really invoke or call forth these benevolent qualities of the heart. We set our intentions, or we wish in a very, very intentional way to call upon helpful qualities of well-being, like happiness and health and safety and ease. And even more deeply, we can wish for ourselves to be free from suffering and even free from sorrow and pain. And what happens when we repeat these sorts of wishes and aspirations that are so deeply rooted in the aspiration of kindness and love and good-heartedness and good wishing, is that, especially from the mindfulness perspective too, we almost prime the mind, or we allow the mind itself to remember that we can also tap into these inherent qualities of the heart. So when we repeat these words and these phrases in the mind, it's almost like we're pointing the mind, or we're inclining the mind to reconnect itself with the heart, and to reconnect itself with these boundless, beautiful, innate qualities of the heart. So we're going to practice some loving kindness meditation right now, and I'll be guiding us through the entire time. And we'll be using some more traditional phrases of loving kindness, just so you can experience those. If this is your first time practicing loving kindness meditation, don't worry, you'll totally get it. And again, I'll be guiding us through. But I find that it can be really helpful and beneficial and beautiful to actually hear these timeless phrases, or these long time used phrases, just so you can get to know that foundation and that baseline of how loving kindness meditation is often practiced, especially here in the West. So we can go ahead and start to begin to find our way to a comfortable posture and position, if you're not in a meditative position already. And the phrases that I'll be guiding us with are actually phrases that could be found on day 5 of Kindness Now. And again, these are more traditional loving kindness phrases. So we'll spend a few moments, though, first settling into the body and letting ourselves start to find a sense of stability and a sense of respite here in the present moment. And so as we settle into a comfortable posture together, it can be really helpful to notice if there's any additional adjustments that you would like to make in the body to feel most comfortable and most at ease. Sometimes it can be helpful to roll the shoulders back a few times. or even let the neck stretch side to side. And inviting any other stretches or adjustments in the body before you start to find your way to a posture that feels sustainable and comfortable for you. And then when you're ready, softly closing the eyes if you'd like. Beginning to guide your attention towards the body. And even just letting your attention settle inwards in the body. You can begin by noticing your feet resting against the floor. And also noticing your two sitting bones resting against the seat beneath you. Pausing here for a moment to simply allow yourself to rest here in the body. Even inviting the full body to soften and find ease. And now, from this baseline of awareness in the body, if you'd like, you can invite in a few deeper breaths into the body now. So, when you're ready, inhaling maybe a little bit more deeply than usual, breathing into the body, fully breathing in. And then, when you're ready, gently releasing the breath outwards, letting it go. Let's do that 2 more times together, more deeply breathing in, inviting in the inhale. Then when you're ready, gently releasing the breath out, softly letting it go. And once more, deeply breathing in. And breathing out. And then allowing the breath to settle into its natural rhythm and cadence. And for the next few moments, simply watching the body breathe, sensing the body breathe. Maybe you notice the breath as it moves throughout the landscape in the body, such as in the rise and fall of your chest and rib cage. Or maybe you sense the breath in the nose and the nostrils. Just noticing where the breath enters and exits the body in the nose. And you may also sense the breath in the rise and fall of the belly or abdomen. So, spending just the next moment centering your awareness upon the natural rhythms and sensations of your breath and breathing. And then gently to begin to move into our loving kindness practice. If you'd like, you can begin to focus upon the breath in the heart space of the body. At first, perhaps sensing the rise and fall of the chest and the rib cage. Or maybe even feeling some palpable sensations of the heart itself, like the rhythmic heartbeat or a inherent warmth around the heart. As you keep your attention centered within the breath and the heart space, we'll now begin to repeat the following phrases of loving kindness in the mind. And this loving kindness will be directed towards ourselves. So we'll be sending these phrases and these wishes of good heartedness and kindness and benevolence towards ourselves. And so silently repeating in the mind, may I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe and protected. And may I live with ease. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe and protected. May I live with ease. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe and protected. May I live with ease. And for the next few moments, repeating any of these phrases or any parts of these phrases silently on your own, in your own timing, and in your own way. And it's okay if you even repeat just some of the words from the phrases, maybe like happy, healthy, safe, protected, ease. And letting these words and these wishes just sort of wash through the field of the mind and the body and the heart. Maybe you even notice some remnants or some effects from these beautiful wishes of kindness. And then, when you're ready, gently allowing these words and these phrases and these wishes to gently dissolve from the mind. And guiding your attention just back to the breath and the area of the heart in the body. Reconnecting to the inflow and the outflow of your breath and breathing. Maybe also noticing whether your heart may feel a little bit more open, a little calmer, more relaxed, more full of ease, or just bringing your mindfulness, your attention towards any sensations or qualities that you may feel right now. And just making sure to not force or wish anything to be here. It's okay if you're not feeling anything in particular. Just noticing, giving yourself the opportunity to observe and notice. And then from this place of awareness, right before we bring this time in meditation to a close, just reflecting for a moment on something that you are grateful for today. And maybe even it's this moment in practice together right here and right now, or for some of the phrases of loving kindness that you just heard. So calling upon any gratitude or appreciation. And now with this gratitude and even this loving kindness and top of mind and top of heart, when you're ready, taking a nice long deep breath into the body, fully breathing in. And then as you're ready, gently releasing this breath out. And from here, starting to invite in some mindful movement into the body, wiggling the fingers and the toes, letting the body move and stretch as it would like. And then when you're ready, gently floating open the eyes if they have been closed. Giving yourself a moment to allow your attention to float outwards, back into the space and the environment in the room that you may be in. And of course, back into our shared screen environment here together, right here and right now. And I see Samantha is back as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for practicing together and for spending some time in loving kindness meditation with me. I hope it supported you. I hope it nourished you. And please let us know if you have any reflections, comments, questions, or insights. We'd love to hear from you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Amanda. This has been lovely. And I think the viewers would agree with me. So if folks want to follow you, how do they get in touch?
You can get in touch with me across any of the regular social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. My handle is at Amanda Gilbert Meditation. You can also reach out to me via my website, amandagilbertmeditation.com, and say hi there. And you can also find a lot of information about the book actually on the website too. The book has its own beautiful homepage and website, but you can find that through my website at amandagilbertmeditation.com.
Wonderful. And what's next for you? Are there any more books in your future?
Absolutely. Yes. And I love your questions are so just right on point today, Samantha. So absolutely, yes. I'm actually currently putting together the next book outline and proposal. And I'm just feeling so excited and so good about it. So please stay tuned, everybody. My heart is exploding with excitement and joy about kindness now, and of course about the next body of teachings that will hopefully be shared in the next book.
Wonderful. Well, Amanda, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you everyone for watching. Like Amanda said, you can follow her on all the normal social media platforms that are out there. You can also check out our website, but most of all, go out and purchase Kindness Now if you haven't already. You can do that at schulerbooks.com or nicholasbooks.com. Our stores are open and you can also order online. We ship worldwide. So come give us a visit. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Thank you, Samantha. And thank you, everyone. So good to be here together.
Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.